guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising Venus. Welcome, cross watchers, and if you're brand new to the channel, happy to have you join us. We are just past the full moon in Scorpio. I did do a special reading for that. You can still go watch that. Even though the moon has moved on because it happened at 22 degrees, so it was sort of late in the sign of Scorpio. The truth is that the energies of any lunation, whether it's a new moon or a full moon, kind of build for 3 days prior to the peak and sort of dissipate 3 days after. So we've got almost a week of that energy to work with. So it's not too late for you to watch that reading and for you to still be feeling the energies of that full moon in Scorpio. Just want to let you know that. And yeah, so let's dive in. I'm using the Divine Feminine Oracle. We are in Taurus season, which is like a sister sign to Libra because both Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus, which is the ultimate Divine Feminine. So let's jump in and get you a message from Divine Feminine Oracle. Let's see what we have here today. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. How perfect. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Saint Bridget. There she is. Our Lady of Exalted Light. So calling all of you light workers, giving endlessly because the light is without end. And drawing off all you need that comes from your soul, your inner light. And there's a little bit of energy there of, you know, the way shower, the light worker energy that many of you who come to not just my channel, but any channel where you're looking at divination, tarot, astrology, those tools that sort of help us understand the paths that are less, that are more esoteric. Let me say it that way. That are, I don't want to talk about what's less, what's more esoteric. You tend to be more light driven, so it's a good message. Follow the energies of Saint Bridget for now. Okay, so I'm going to pull a spread that it's kind of a hybrid of my own creation. I have a little guide for myself to follow. Looking at your energy, Temperance. Yeah, that's kind of perfect because Temperance is like a higher, is spiritual wisdom. If I was going to put it in a nutshell, spiritual wisdom, kind of exercising some restraint and allowing the energies to come into flow and balance. So kind of going with the flow here. What's crossing you? Where is the challenge around the theme of the beginning of life partnership? Right? You're in that frame of, well, it's getting challenging to be patient. It's getting challenging to kind of exercise that restraint. It's challenging you now. How about your person, their energy? Because they're moving really slowly. I get it. Yeah. And what's crossing them? Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles got a lot of room for interpretation here. Usually, to me, I talk about it as, cooperation, co-creation. Sometimes it's about just being on the same page, right? Are we invested at the same level? Are we talking about the same thing here? It can also be a card about friendship. So I'm going to stick a pin in it for now. Do remember, this is a general reading, not a private reading, so take it as it resonates for you, and it may not resonate for all of you. And energies can come through reverse. So as I say Libra, this is you. It could be the cross watcher. So for the relationship, the Ace of Cups, the gift from Spirit of the love of a lifetime. And maybe your one true love, the divine message, Seven of Swords. So there may be some avoidance here. And if not avoidance, I'm not seeing any deception here, but could be that someone is saying one thing, but really not meaning it. You know, sometimes we say something just because we know someone wants to hear it, but we haven't really bought into it yet. Which may be why someone is moving super slowly, if at all. Could be. We'll see. The opportunity, Queen of Cups. This has come out before in this spot. And the way that I'm feeling it is as an opportunity card. It's about, you know, opening your heart enough without becoming a doormat, without being overly needy or too sappy about things. You want to be compassionate, and you want to be sensitive. The Queen of Cups in tarot is the empath. So I just talked about light workers, way showers, and empaths fall into that mix. But the empath is different in that the empath kind of can become a sponge for all the feelings out there. Very sensitive. I know empaths that have to hold, like, for example, I am the kind of empath that as I'm reading for you, I live right behind a hospital. I know. I'm far enough away that it's not like I'm not in the backyard, but I'm in the proverbial backyard, so that the major road thoroughfare here for the ambulances kind of passes my neighborhood, butts up against that main road. So I can hear the sirens of the ambulances. You can't always hear it, but I can. And so as I'm working here with you and I'm reading and I hear the ambulance, I can't channel. I can't continue to read. It disturbs my energy. It literally cuts through because I am empathically drawn to whatever suffering, right? It's like it's an immediate, my energy immediately goes to where the suffering is. I can't even continue. I cannot drive by hospitals very easily if there are ambulance en route to it. You know what I'm saying? If there's a lot of tumult by it, I get very disturbed. So there are empaths like that are just very sensitive to, and like almost a sponge to, surrounding energies of emotions, of pain, and kind of have to really stop and pull their energy back. So I'm saying that for a reason, because you know who you are. So I'm trying to tell you that that's not what the opportunity is. The opportunity isn't to become enmeshed. The opportunity is to become open-hearted enough to be compassionate in a way where you kind of don't become enmeshed, where you sort of can be more understanding. All right, I'm saying that for a reason, because some energy here is avoiding, is becoming avoidant, or is saying something that they don't really mean in the moment, maybe because they think something's being expected of them. So you want to kind of be, all right, understanding from an emotional standpoint, but not, right, a bleeding heart. Yeah, and don't worry about me. I have all kinds of methods where I call back my energy, and I can I've been at this a long time. I know how to put in the boundaries and how to pull back my energy. Didn't always know how to do that though. So let's jump in and see Temperance with the Four of Wands. Yeah. So, look. I'm going to pull these cards first. I've got you here with that, like, this could be it. This could be the beginning of my happily ever after and all the happiness and that, sense of this is it. So you're kind of coming in with Temperance of, I'm just going to wait it out. I'm going to be chill. But Page of Swords is really the kicker, because the Page of Swords is why this Four of Wands is crossing you, because you're like, something's not passing the sniff test. I got to do a little bit more recon here, because something's telling me I don't have all the information I need. And so, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Four of Cups, the World. Ooh. This person does not want you to be disappointed. Does not want you to be disappointed. Is definitely drawn to you, but also sees you as someone who's more powerful in the connection. Is registering that, is moving slowly toward you, wants to make an offer that's very tangible, legitimate, maybe coming at this like, I'm not sure we're on the same page, right? Like, not that you're not, but that they may not be where you are yet, according to what you may expect, because we have this Four of Cups. They don't want you to be disappointed. They don't want you to be disillusioned. They don't want you to be unhappy. They don't want you to feel, like they don't love you or care about you. With that World card from the bottom of the deck, the World card is Saturn. The World card is, there may be a lesson here to be learned, and maybe we've got, something that's still sort of unsettled here that hasn't kind of completely wrapped up. And so I do feel on some level that you may not be on the same page about how things are progressing. So this person is actually almost pulling back on the reins of that Knight of Pentacles, and almost intentionally it feels like slowing things down. And is doing whatever they need to do so as to not disappoint. They're feeling your disappointment even a little bit, or maybe on some level seeming to try to deal with where things really are versus where they're headed, if that makes sense. So let's look at the Ace of Cups, the relationship. Two of Swords, yeah, decisions, Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. Wow. The Two of Swords it can be crossroads energy, but it's also about an important decision that has to be made. Here in this connection, you're being gifted, from spirit, this love of a lifetime, this beautiful gift of love. And the Seven of Pentacles talks about patience again, but also how things unfold organically. And, that decision, the Four of Swords from the bottom of the deck, again, for those who are new, the cards from the bottom are more what we can't see, because they're either in unconscious awareness or it's playing out behind the scenes. So what's playing out behind the scenes is, as it looks to me, sometimes it's a healing reference, but other times it's deep reflection. It's something that's being thought out at a deep level, right? Like somebody who's kind of getting meditative about it. And I think it could be this person, because I think whoever you are up here, whether you're the Libra or the cross watcher, you're already into the I see our future, I see the happiness, the happily ever after, the beginning of life partnership. But in temperance energy, you're kind of like, but I'm going with the flow. And yet with that Page of Swords, I'm curious, because something, I don't know if I have all the information I need. This person is the one who seems like, I'm not quite there yet. I don't want to disappoint, but I still have a cycle to wrap up here. I'm not ready to lurch forward. And so when I come to the connection, there's decision making, deep reflection, patience needed. You got it. I am not sure that communication has been clear. Hence I'm talking this way, I'm moving that way. It feels, I don't want to necessarily say duplicitous, but avoidant, not completely on the level. Seven of Swords is the divine message. Hanged Man. Yeah, this person, whoever it is, needs time, and they haven't been forthright in their expression of that, which is why you've got this Page of Swords. You're kind of like, yeah, there's something I don't know, or there's something I need to know. That's what it is you need to know. Chariot's not moving. There's our Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. So whoever this person in their Knight of Pentacles energy is, we're not going to move forward. We're not going to make progress. This person needs time, and they haven't told you that directly. They've avoided the conversation. Or if they've said, yeah, I'm on the same page, it wasn't the truth. Let's call it a little white lie. They need more time. So it's a temporary standstill. That's the good news about, the whole situation. The Hanged Man is a perspective card. It's just like let's press pause. I just kind of need to evaluate this a little bit more. It's not like you're going to hang there forever. It really is a temporary standstill. This person just, doesn't want to disappoint, but is kind of working through some kind of a cycle of some sort, a lesson of some sort, something that they haven't kind of gotten closure on or closed out or something. So maybe I'll get more answers from that in the extended, because I'm going to focus on this person. Let's just call them the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to focus on them in the extended. So we'll get to that. But the opportunity is the Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Devil, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so in this case, again, I'm not bothered by the Devil energy, because it's kind of coming through as like and I talk about this a lot, sometimes the devil can be, negative karma. Sometimes it can be really something nefarious. Other times it's just our ego kind of stepping forward and giving us a warning sign, right? Like it can be shadow, and sometimes shadow is adaptive. Just like sometimes the Nine of Swords, right? Which looks, really daunting, is just adaptive anxiety. And sometimes it's helpful. So I'm feeling, because I'm telling you the position of the card is the Queen of Cups. And I'm telling you, you don't want to be, a wet rag or a doormat here. You don't want to be overly needy. You want to have an open heart in this situation and be compassionate and sensitive to this person. But you also want to have boundaries, Four of Pentacles. Yes. So this can be about boundaries and about, a little bit of healthy control in the situation so that you don't get steamrolled over. Okay? And it's not about throwing in the towel. The Nine of Wands from the bottom of the deck, the opportunity here is that you both kind of, it's about the extremes sometimes. The Devil card can be a card of extremes, as can the Nine of Wands. We may be approaching something that feels like a push-pull. And it's about that energy of, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this, but I'm not giving up. And I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm going to persevere. I'm not going to let this take me down or beat me. And you're each saying that because you're all ready to go. And this person is kind of like, I'm not sure I'm quite on the same page. So could we potentially have a runner here? Yeah, we could. But they haven't run completely. They've pressed pause. There's a reason for that. They've pressed pause. They're slowing their roll, they're slowing their pace, but they're still in the game, right? They're still invested. So what we want you to do here is kind of soften your edges, especially if you're the Libra. Soften your edges, create some boundaries for yourself, and then meet that shadow and create some mechanism of control for yourself, but yet not give up. Okay? The Devil can also be that energy that says, I don't have to play by everybody else's rules. I'm playing by my own rules right now. Okay? Because this is Capricorn's energy. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. This is Saturn. So Saturn meets Saturn to say, all right, let's create our own rules now. Because I cannot let you pull me off my path. I have to kind of help you course correct. And so I got to create some firm boundaries, and I have to do it with compassion. I have to say, I see you, I get it, but I've got boundaries too, and I'm going to help you course correct because we've come too far, and we're not going to play by your mommy's rules or by so-and-so's rules. No. We've got rules of our own, so it's like the Devil reversed. That's what the Devil reversed is. We're done playing by society's rules. We're done playing by mommy and daddy's rules. We're playing by our own rules now. We've earned that right. Okay? And we persevere. But all that can be done with a gentle touch. So that's the opportunity. And because in the opportunity isn't to withdraw, isn't to drop deeper into shadow, right? That would make zero sense. So the position of the card helps me with the interpretation, just so you understand. So that's what I have for you in this part of the spread. I am going to dive deeper into our friend, the Knight of Pentacles here in the extended. And what's interesting is I am going to focus on how you, well, one part of the reading is to focus on how you can identify when this person is coming at you from their highest vibration or their lowest vibration. There are telltale signs. We'll look at that. Something hidden from you here, something they don't want you to know or see, and but that could be really helpful. What they do want you to know, what they are trying to say, you know, and then how they think or feel about you, and of course their intentions. So that's what we'll do. The links are below. Just a heads up, link number 2 is the one-time purchase, and the other 2 links, 1 and 3, because there are 3 options, are monthly renewals. So they auto-renew, just like to let you know. And if you've enjoyed the reading or my style or my humor or whatever it is, and you haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below. That's what keeps me on the platform here doing what I love to do the most. So thanks in advance for that. And let me give you the astrology that showed up. We have Temperance, Sagittarian energy, Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Sun is Leo. That Knight of Pentacles came out twice, some Virgo energy. If you're dealing with a Virgo or have Virgo in your chart even, we got some extra confirmation about that. Queen of Wands is Aries. The World is Saturn, as I said, Aquarius and Capricorn. Hanged Man, Neptune, rules Pisces. Chariot is Cancerian energy. Queen of Cups is Cancerian energy. And as I said, Devil is more Capricorn. And beautiful Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light for your oracle. That's what I have. I'm headed to the extended. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.